Welcome to episode 1 of the weighing room with the Winners Enclosure. I'm Hannah and I'm joined by Frankie, and we're going to be taking you through Saturday's race card. Meetings at Newbury, Doncaster and Cheltenham. Now, Frankie, you've been at Cheltenham today, so tell us a little bit about that. And also, you're there on Saturday, aren't you?
Yeah, I've been up there today. I'm there Friday and Saturday, so I've been lucky enough 3-4 days on the bounce. I walked the course this afternoon. Sun was out. They were doing final kind of preps. It does look very, very good. I spoke to the team up there. They have obviously had a lot of prep ahead of this, with COVID stopping lots of things last year, and they want to get this one perfect. And fingers crossed, if it's like it was today, it was looking pitch perfect. It was good to be back. I think I snuck in, when was it? 1 November meet. Since the festival, since pre-COVID, I got one sneaky November meet when they allowed 1,000 locals in, but since then haven't been. So yeah, it was good to go. And then I'm going tomorrow, and then going Saturday. We're obviously going to talk through some of the races on Saturday, hopefully pick out some winners as well. But it was it's exciting to be back. You always kind of not forget about Cheltenham, because to me, growing up in Cheltenham, it's the big one. All of my kind of jumps racing, the way I follow jumps racing anyway, is like the road to Cheltenham from the get-go. Some hardcore racing fans will be like, there's way more to jumps racing than Cheltenham. But for me, the season starts now with the October meet, and I'm looking at horses and following horses up to Cheltenham. So it's I'm excited for this weekend. It's been a long time ago.
Yeah, because you and I, well, our local course is Cheltenham, because obviously I grew up in Wiltshire, but all my family are in Gloucestershire. So yeah, that's our local course. But tell me, how was the ground? Because when I did my prep yesterday, the ground was looking soft. Has there been any rain? Because I'm in London at the moment.
There's been loads of rain, but I actually bumped into a guy who was doing this weird new thing. I don't think he wasn't a course clerk. Obviously, they have the course clerk does his own thing for Cheltenham, but they had it was like a independent, I guess, that go to all race courses, and they're doing an experiment with a new bit of kit where they're weighing up or measuring certain race courses against other race courses. He was dropping this bowling ball on the ground, which had it was quite interesting, to be fair. The guy was telling me all about it. They had this bowling ball with all this kit inside, obviously measuring how it felt, and he was just walking around with this ball, just dropping it from various heights. And he basically said it feeds back how the horse will feel. So it will measure kind of like the spring back from the ground at various heights at various parts of the course. And he was like, he said it's good or it's perfect. I don't think he was saying it's good ground as in good ground in racing terms. He was just saying the ground is good and it's perfect because they've obviously had so long to get it ready. But there's been a lot of rain. I think it will be, I don't know, good to soft, maybe soft. Rain's so much today, it was hammering down.
Yeah, I did wonder, because I checked this morning again, and it said good to soft, so I just wondered. But I mean, did you say this ball thing that they're using, this is new?
So they don't work for the race course, so the course clerk will still will still be the one that decides what the ground is, but they are basically like, it's like a new bit of technology they're experimenting. So he was telling me.
Yeah, if no one's heard about it, you heard it here first.
Yeah, well, I'm looking on Racing Post, and it's got the ground down as good. So.
Oh, okay.
Maybe a big ground, yeah.
Right then. Well, without further ado, should we crack on through the Cheltenham race card? I'm just going to get that up on my phone. So we're going to look at, the 145 Showcase Handicap Hurdle. That's 2 miles, 5 furlongs for conditional jockeys. So we have the pick from the Winners Enclosure is Samurai at 9-4. Now, Frankie, what are your thoughts on that?
I'm going to side with them. It's Paul Nicholls' favourite. It absolutely romped home last time out, I think by about 10-12 lengths. And I think you get these horses, like I said, these meets October, November, that have been tucked away, and they've done 1 or 2 pieces of really, really good work. It has gone up, I think, £10 since last time out, but I think it should handle it. It won by 12-13 lengths, and I think it'll get the job done again.
So I'm actually going different. I'm going with Byzantine Empire, if I've said that right. So it's a 4-year-old bay gelding trained by Fergal O'Brien. It's recently had a wind operation. So, hopefully that might make a difference. Prior to this, won at Southwell, and he was keen, and he won by 2 1/4 lengths. So I think hopefully it should go well tomorrow, and that's going to be my pick for the 145.
Siding with Fergal's never a bad shout, is it, at Cheltenham?
No, that's someone I really wanted to visit this summer, really, but haven't made it.
It's a shame we're not recording this later. I'm going up on Saturday morning before racing, so I'll be able to ask him all about it.
Oh, I just wish I could come. It's such a great place. Yes, perfect. The best person on Twitter as well.
Yeah, unbelievable. Next up, 220, we have the What You Thinking Handicap Chase. When I was walking the course today, those fences are bloody high. The Winners Enclosure pick for this is Storm Control at 4-1, which is favourite for the race. I am going for Jersey Bean in this. Won last time out in a Class 3, and has got some form that stacks up with Manila Bobo, but off the weights, I think Jersey Bean has got a much, much better chance. I think Manila Bobo might have beat it last time out, but weights reversed, or at least weights now in Jersey Bean's favour, and Jersey Bean's one for me.
So for me, I'm going with Cloth Cap under Tom Scudamore. So obviously last time we saw this horse was at Aintree and was pulled up. It was the 11-2 favourite. Again, another one that's recently had a wind up, but I think it'd be really nice for the late Trevor Hemmings as well. I think it'd be a really nice tribute. So kind of going with my heart there, but that's the one I'm going for in the 220. Moving on to the next one. So the next one we do have, let's have a look. So it is the 1455, the Marston Holdings Hurdle. So the winners Enclosure are going for Tritonic. Now I am siding with Tritonic. So first of all, a little bit of a history thing. So when I was in the betting shop earlier on this year, when I was working in there, a lot of people came in and Tritonic was on a lot of the customers' lips. And so I was like, well, I'm going to listen to them. And also a Twitter friend of mine who's got horses with McNeil's. I remember her mentioning it. So that's always stayed in my mind. Now, went back to flat and has built itself back up because obviously it's a disappointing trip back in Cheltenham last year. So I think Saturday could be the one, but I do really like Tritonic. I think it's a very smart horse.
Yeah, interesting one. I mean, at 8-11, I wouldn't be backing it myself, purely because of disappointment at Cheltenham. And the second favourite, Stepney Causeway, looks a little bit exciting. I love to side with horses that have done really, really well in previous races in, let's say, a Class 3 or 4, and then they step up and have a crack at a bigger race. And Stepney Causeway has been absolutely hammering the last, I think, 3 times out by a number of lengths. And I would take a chance on that to beat Tritonic. I mean, it's pretty hard to oppose what was a Triumph favourite and is now 8-11 at Cheltenham, but I'm going to go for Stepney Causeway for the Skeltons. Next up, the 330, Sky Pirate. That's the question. Does Sky Pirate do the business again around Cheltenham? Gone up a fair bit of weight, and it is first time back out since the festival. Am I right? Yeah, last time out was at the festival when it won. The Winners Enclosure have tipped up Sky Pirate. I think I'm only. This sounds bad. It's going to be very hard for Sky Pirate to win off of that mark and on its reappearance. But there doesn't seem to be too much else in the race that is catching my eye. So, I mean, I think it's a hard race to pick a winner, and I don't think 9-4 is value on Sky Pirate. But I just can't see much else in the race that I really fancy. So I am going to go with Sky Pirate. It's a bit of an obvious one, but hopefully it'd be awesome to see it win again.
Yeah, so me too. I'm siding with Sky Pirate and agreeing with, like you said, it's going to be hard to get that on the reappearance because he did finish third at a lot lower rating. So yeah, but I think he's got a lot more to prove now with the ground. I don't know. What did you say the ground was now? Did you say it was about good to soft, you thought?
Good to soft, maybe with a bit of rain, but doesn't rain now.
But yeah, I'm going with Sky Pirate too.
Sky Pirate all around. Fingers crossed Nick Schofield gets the job done.
And it's the 4 the pair temps handicap hurdle. So the Winners Enclosure have gone with Push the Tempo at 10-1. Now, Frankie, what are you saying about that?
For me, I'm going purely because it's Gordon Elliott and Jordan Gainford back in a handicap. And last year, you'd be mad not to back. When you saw that combo in a handicap, it seemed like Jordan Gainford was just cleaning up for Gordon Elliott. Gordon Elliott has obviously been tucked away, and he's got a few runners at Cheltenham this week. And to see Jordan Gainford on a favourite, it seems to have already took a little bit of money in the market. I'm just purely taking a chance that they're going to be there to get the job done.
Now, my pick, I'm going for 10-1. When I last looked, is Geordie Deschamps. Now, this one, if you look at the record, I mean, he before the 2021 debut didn't run since 2018, but won back in May and June. Last time we saw him was my birthday, the 8th of October at Chepstow, finished 5th. But I think there's still more to come, so that's the one I'm going with in the 1605.
And that is Cheltenham. So fingers crossed we've got some winners between us, because I'm going to be there on Saturday. I definitely think that Samarie for Paul Nicholls in the first is a good bet. I'd probably nap that up for Cheltenham. And then, yes, it's some tough racing, but definitely some exciting racing. So moving on we'll go to Doncaster next. Class 1, Group 1, 1 mile at Doncaster. That's straight mile at Doncaster. There's an odds-on favourite of Luxembourg, 10-11, who does look an absolute machine of a horse. The Winners Enclosure tip for this race, however, is not Luxembourg. It is Royal Patronage for Mark Johnston at 9-2, maybe slightly shorter now, 4-1. My selection for this, I'm going with the obvious favourite. I just think it's hard to oppose. You see an odds-on favourite with Ryan Moore on board. It's demolished the field last time out. It looks a very, very smart horse, and having only raced twice, I think there could be more to come from this horse. So Luxembourg is my pick for the race.
So I'm siding with the Winners Enclosure for this one, which is obviously Royal Patronage. I saw this horse in the Judemont Royal Lodge Stakes at Newmarket back in September. Finished strongly. It's a brilliant horse. It keeps on improving. And when I checked the ground, it was soft. So I do think the ground will suit. It's out with Wootton Bassett. It's a really impressive horse, and I think it will do really well. So now we move on to the 350, which is the VirginBet Doncaster Stakes, which is, I did say it, didn't I? The 350. I'm losing my marbles there. Now, Frankie, who are you going for in this one?
I am siding with the Winners Enclosure. Deodar. That's the Winners Enclosure's pick, and it's also going to be mine again to take on a pretty hot favourite in Flaming Rib. Again, I keep going back to this, and I hope I'm not eating my words come Saturday, but it's only ran once. Everything, the 3 horses in behind it have all gone on to either win or come second, and I just think the nature in which it won, I think there's a little bit more to come from this horse. So my pick is going to be Deodar.
Me too. I'm siding with you and the Winners Enclosure as well. But yeah, like you said, it's run once, so there's not much to look for in there. 1 out of 11 on good soft ground. So yeah, I just think there's more to come, and yeah, I think it'll be a good race.
Next up, we are in the 420 at Doncaster. The VirginBet Handicap, Class 2, 5 furlong sprint. The Winners Enclosure pick for this race is Sunday Sovereign at 9-1. Bit of a price for you for Tim Easterby. My selection for this is going to be Dakota Gold. This horse has pretty much won every single race it has run in, every sprint race off of soft ground, which we should have at Doncaster. It's won at Doncaster a couple of times before. and I think it's very fairly weighted in this handicap. So it's ticking a lot of boxes for me. My pick is going to be Dakota Gold.
So my pick, I hope I'm saying this right, is the Razel, the 4-year-old gelding. Now, when I last looked, I think Frankie might be able to see on your screen there, is it still the second favourite at 5-1?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, so this one is last 4 starts after a 201-day break. And last time out of Nottingham ran well and won on good soft ground, and it's out of Derby as well. So, the form's there. It's got some good lines in there, some good breeding. I think this will be a good horse and a great one to watch.
That's all for our Doncaster races. Moving on for 2 of the ITV races at Newbury, and the first is the 2 o'clock Class 1 Group 3. Again, forecast for heavy ground, 7 furlong sprint. And the Winners Enclosure pick is Noble Truth. And I'm going with both of their selections actually at Newbury. I'm going to side with Noble Truth again. Has beaten the second favourite, Huya Mao, only very closely, and you could argue that there's scope for improvement in the second favourite, having not run as many times out. But the form of Noble Truth, especially on heavy ground over in France, I think just weighs in its favour that little bit more. It's proven over the distance, it's proven on the ground, it has beaten the second favourite. It looks a very, very smart horse, and I think it's deserving favourite, so Noble Truth.
Yeah, me too, Noble Truth. So James Doyle will be riding this time. James Doyle won on this horse before, actually. It was its second win, but since it's been ridden by William Buick. And yeah, so the last time it was beaten by Angel Blue, and that was at Longchamp on soft ground. But it's a brilliant horse. It's a fantastic horse to watch. I was looking back, actually, when Huya Mao literally by a whisker, and I just think it would be great competition again on Saturday when they race against each other. Out of Kingman and the Damsire is Frankel. So again, it's all there really, and I just think it's a fantastic horse. It's a brilliant horse to watch. Noble Truth all round. So then lastly of our picks, so we are, as I unlock my phone to check which one it is the 1435 VIRGINBET St Simon Stakes. And that is the last of our selections, isn't it? So this is a trip over 1 mile 4. Now, my pick for this one, I ummed and ahed about it, but I've just gone for Max Vega. Now, when I was looking at this horse, it's actually gone up the market now. Frankie, can you just tell me, is it the second favourite now?
Max Vega, no, it is third favourite at 4-1. So you've got Siskany at around even money, you've got Ilarab at around 7-2, and you've got Max Vega at around 4-1. There's been some, I guess you could say, some early money, or at least where I'm looking for Ilarab, 7-2 second favourite. Yeah, it's progress this year.
Now, the one that the Winning Closure has gone for, I would nearly agree to say it's Larab, and I believe that's the one. Would you say that's the one you're going for, Frankie?
Yeah, that's my selection. I don't like the favourite. I never like in these sorts of races to pick a horse that's been handicapping for too long. The favourite has been running well in handicaps. But I think Larab has been impressive in group company, and I think now it's into 7-2. It was a bit more of a price earlier, but I'd definitely be taking on that favourite.
Yeah, so that's your pick. So my pick is Max Vega. But yeah, I mean, Frankie, I'm really envious. You're going to have a great day's racing on Saturday. I have to say I will be at home joining the ITV race card and watching it from my sofa, which will be very exciting, and I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, I think we've definitely got a great day's racing. You're going to have a fantastic time. Frankie, your nap of the day.
My nap of the day for Saturday. I think I'm going to have to go back to Cheltenham, as I said, with that Paul Nicholls favourite in the first, Samarive. I am hoping that it is as impressive as you might suspect. It's pretty unexposed. It's won well. And I think he'll be coming here hoping to win. So hopefully it gets me off to a good start on Saturday and pays for a few beers.
Let's hope so. And my nap for the day is going to be in the 145 at Cheltenham, and it's going to be by Untitled Empire. I really like this horse. It really stood out to me, and yeah, that's going to be my nap of the day. That's the one that I selected earlier on. So all my information that I said is there. But yeah, that's going to be mine.
Fingers crossed we get some winners between us. I will obviously be at Cheltenham watching. Cheltenham, you'll literally be sat at home watching through what we've just selected, so you'll know exactly what we've got on.
Exactly. I'll be sitting here with this list, and fingers crossed. So between us, we're going to have a bit of a competition, aren't we, of who can back the most winners. So hopefully we'll get some ones between us.
Between the three of us, I'm just trying to look now. I think the horses that we've all kind of agreed on are Samareve in the first race at Cheltenham, and Deodar in the 350 at Doncaster, and also Noble Truth in the 2 o'clock at Newbury. So maybe between the three of us, hopefully a couple of those go well.
Out of your picks from today, have you got one in particular that you are really, really looking forward to seeing run?
I'm interested to see Tritonic run. I haven't. It wasn't my selection, but I'm just interested to see how that goes. Sky Pirate, I don't think you'll take too much from this race. I think it will come into form festival season, and it's very heavily weighted. But again, it would just be. It's always nice to see horses come back to Cheltenham that have won at Cheltenham. So I think it's good to see those two. Obviously, they've been around Cheltenham at the festival, and it's always nice to see how they're going to go this time out. But yeah, I think I'm most interested to see how Tritonic gets on. I think I personally, I'd think 8 to 11 and is. I mean, I wouldn't be backing it, but I might be eating my words.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing Royal Patronage run again, because like I said, when I was there at Newmarket, watched him. As a fantastic horse, so I'm looking forward to the progression and seeing how he goes. But yeah,
I think that's the best thing about Cheltenham is seeing horses come back around, or following horses from you. As I said, you sometimes get a couple in these October, November meets, or even sometimes in the trials in January, and you get a look at a couple, especially the novices, that then go on to the festival. That's always my favourite thing. So hopefully there's some good racing this weekend. I'm sure it will be. God,
the last time I was at Cheltenham was before the pandemic. That's so long ago, like literally before the pandemic broke out.
That's what it is for most people. They only had one meet, and that was when they had 1,000 people allowed. And besides that,
the locals,
So there's been no public since not last year's festival, the one before. So yeah, the guys I spoke to today said they've been very, very busy, and there's lots of last minute ticket sales. So I think it'd be a good one.
Yeah, I bet. I've already got my outfit picked for the festival, just saying.
Ahead of the game, most important thing.
Preparation is key. All right then, well, we will leave that there. Thank you so much, Frankie. We will see how we get on Saturday. Good luck, and good luck to the Winners Enclosure. And fingers crossed we'll get some winners.
I'll see you next week.